Hey again everybody, and welcome to day 4 of my 5-day challenge where I have been doing a book review every day since Monday. Tomorrow is the last day, but I have a book review for you today which is going to be great, so get excited for that.
Woo! Yeah.
Just a reminder to check out my previous book reviews that I've done this week. On day 1 I did Divergent by Veronica Roth. Day 2 I did Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. And yesterday I did 1984 by George Orwell. All really interesting books, all really different books. So feel free to check those out to see what my recommendations are, which ones are my favorite, and all that good stuff. Alright, let's get started with today's review, which is one of my favorites. It is The Kite Runner by a man who is an incredible author, but yet I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm really not even going to try because I would feel bad because I would butcher it and people would hate me. Before I get started with this review, guys, I did just want to give you a heads up that while this is one of my favorite books and it's an absolutely incredible read, it is a really dark story. There are definitely some really powerful yet disturbing themes in this. Part of the plot involves the sexual assault of a child. There is a lot of violence, there is a lot of heartbreak, there is just a lot of really unsettling things in this book that I completely understand. If they're a trigger for you, you might not want to read this. You might not want to watch this video, although I will say ahead of time I'm not going into depth whatsoever in this review. But I did want to give you guys a heads up because the last thing I want to do is offend anyone. So just with that knowledge, feel free to also message me if you want more details about the book but don't feel comfortable watching this review. Completely open to that. But with that said, I do want to talk about how much I really do enjoy this book. This book takes place in Afghanistan and tells the tale of two young boys. We have Amir, who is the narrator, and he's the privileged young coming-of-age child who's, he's starting to grow up. And then you have his unlikely friend Hassan. The two kind of build a bond. You see them do a lot of activities together. They seem like best friends in the beginning. They do something called kite fighting, which is a really cool sport to witness. You kind of battle with other kites to cut the string and then you win that kite. It's just a really cool sport. I wish I could do it, but I can't fly a kite, so. I don't want to give too much away because this book really starts with a bang, but certain events kind of shape their friendship, and it's really interesting because this book doesn't stop when they're kids. You see Amir, I think it's like years into the future when he's older. So it's really interesting to see him progress from a child coming of age to a man who has his own life for himself. And that's one of the things I loved about this book. I also really like the historical background of this. I am not good at history at all. I suck at it. I can't remember stuff for the life of me. This book takes you through some really important political events such as the fall of the monarchy in Afghanistan to the invasion of the Russian forces. You see some of the refugees traveling to the United States where they make their lives there. And then finally it touches on the rise of the Taliban regime. So it's really interesting to kind of get that history lesson without it being overpowering. I was never like, oh god, I'm reading a history book, this sucks. Why did I pick this up? Because I know that genre just does not appeal to me. I'm not really good with nonfiction. I'm not good with, reading a book for a history lesson. But this didn't feel like it at all. You got that blend of history with that blend of fiction, and it made it just really worked in this book. I will say that I did read this book a really, really long time ago, and I'm a little fuzzy on the details. So you may be like, Jacqueline, why are you doing a review on a book you read so long ago? It is because this book will follow you for the rest of your life. I read this book freshman year of high school, and if you ask me what other books I read freshman year of high school, I would not be able to tell you. This is what I remember. And I read this on my own time, and I loved it. Because as dark and as unpleasant as it could be at times to read, it doesn't leave you. It's got some really powerful themes of, revenge and guilt, but also salvation and redemption. As much as you want to be like, this book is so dark, there are some silver linings in here that are really powerful, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. And those themes have stuck with me. I could not tell you a play-by-play by this entire book. It's definitely on my reread list because I have forgotten a lot of it, but I remember some of the big scenes, I remember some of the big themes in this book, and they will follow me forever because I adore this book. If you do want to read it, I highly recommend it. Just go into it with the mindset that it is dark, but there is a silver lining in it. So that is my recommendation for you guys. A definite must read. It's a reread for me because I am a little fuzzy on all the details because I forget stuff a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I Hope you liked this review. Please leave me a comment. I feel like I haven't had a lot of conversations with people about this book before, so let me know if you read it, and if not, let me know if you want to read it or if it appeals to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with my last review of the week. I can't believe I was on schedule the whole time. Bye!